Welcome to another episode of Reseller Evolution. I'm Scott.
And I'm Carl.
How's it going, Carl?
Well, what number is this?
99.99.
100. Woo! Sound of cheering in the background.
It's pure silver.
Pure silver?
100%.
Well, you know how much that is nowadays.
It's about $107 now, Canadian.
Between you and like the coin guy next to me,
yeah,
half the things I get is like silver's up. And like it's funny, every customer that goes to the coin guy says, "Have you seen silver lately?" Yeah. Anyways, number 100. This is exciting.
Number 100.
What special things do we have planned for this episode?
I don't know. We'll have to. Well, I mean, more special. Well, I don't know. I mean, that's special to us, but probably more interesting is it's the last episode in 2025.
Yeah, we did that completely on purpose, right?
Yeah. So happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy 100. I can't believe we've done this for 100 episodes. Yada, yada, yada. Thank you for everyone for listening. Yada, yada, yada.
100 episodes. That's crazy.
Yeah. There you go. Celebration. So how are you doing?
Good. Everything's good. Have some interesting eBay mumble jumble to share with everyone eventually once it gets down to that point of the show. But outside good. Let's just break it down as far as numbers for the month, or it's interesting how we're playing it going into 2026, because there's a lot of, in my mind, I don't, probably not everybody feels this way, but I just felt like we got beat up pretty hard in 2025, right? As resellers.
Oh, yeah.
And
for sure,
I just found the sales were down for December in the booth.
Yeah.
And eBay is kind of, it's chugging along. I mean, eBay's eBay. It's doing fine, but there's a lot of variables that have been, we had to deal with. And basically almost throughout the year, you go back to Canada Post and all sorts of things. I mean, there's, I didn't find anything strategy changing with eBay outside of the Canada Post thing, although there was a lot of talk of changes in this. But August 29th, I think, is probably the hit heard around the world.
Yeah, that's our D-Day, yeah.
So, but with international shipping, things have picked up a little bit, but there's a couple returns, craziness things that international shipping, I get, I keep the money, but like for one thing, I sold these books and they go for about $100 to $135. And one of the other vendors, I think I've talked about this before, but one of the other vendors have, they had a collection of, like, they bought a whole box of them for like next to nothing. And he was kind of talking to me about putting stuff on eBay, and these books were in there. And I accepted the books because he gave me two, and then he gave me five, because the two sold, and then he gave me five, and a bunch of them sold. But I was going to talk about this later, but I'll bring it up now. Like, why leave everybody in suspense? But anyways, I had a return. And how do you return something that's brand new? Like, it's brand new. I've sold five, and this guy's returning one. They all came out of the same box. They all look the same. I think two of them had positive reviews.
Are they? And you said they're books. They're not sealed, right? They're just.
Well, they're not sealed, but they're definitely not used.
Yeah, no, I understand.
It's not my topic. I'm not going to look through them. It's ceramics. It's collectible ceramics by a certain company. Well, okay. I think it's a ceramics, but it was mainly based around this one company, and it was Christmas stuff. But I looked at the delivery date. It showed up December 29th. So is that because they're pissy because it wasn't delivered on time for Christmas or something? I don't know.
Did they put a return reason?
Well, I'm going to call today. I couldn't find one.
Really?
So it's international shipping. So everything I get to, it's just like, don't worry, eBay's got this taken care of. You will not receive the item, but we will.
Hold on. Is this EIS?
Yeah.
Oh, then you're safe. Yeah, no problem. It's not your problem.
Well, here's my thinking and concern is how many of these do you get before you're off EIS?
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. No idea.
So, okay, the other one, eBay said, it got to their hub on time and that's fine, and the guy had a remorse buy, so that's on him. But there was 5 items in that thing, so I'm just waiting for other hammers to fall. You know what I mean?
Right. So you're afraid this is going to affect your EIS standing?
It could, right?
Yeah,
like, what's the reason for return? Like, that's important to me. Do I need to call eBay every single time? But not only that, there was a toy soldier, and it was in the foam. It was like these ones were mint. I checked them over because it doesn't matter to me if they're damaged. I've sold so many, and I have so many. If it's got a little if it's got a little like flea bite in it, I'll just put a zoom up picture of it and explain it.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I've got a couple boxes over here. Guys will buy them cheaper and they'll fix them up, or I can bulk sell them online. Like, I don't really care. My point is, I'm not going to sell them something defective. But it was just, rifle was damaged. I think he's full of shit because other people have sent pictures. If I send an item and it gets damaged in the mail, you get a picture, right? I did have the one guy where Scott sells broken stuff.
Oh, that guy. I forgot about that.
That wasn't international shipping at that time, so I could just refund them, right?
So was this soldier EIS as well?
It was EIS as well. So he didn't give me a negative. He gave me a neutral, and he didn't ask to return it. I think he's looking for maybe a discount or something. However, my point is, am I waiting here every day for him to eventually ask for a return? I just blocked him. You know what I mean? But I don't know what to do with it. I don't. It was not broken. There's no way it was broken because it was in its foam inserts. Like, it was very, like, unless he broke it, but
or who knows? Maybe the EIS broke it.
Well, okay, then that's an option I thought of as well. But that's a problem in itself because I'm the one getting dinged for it. However it gets broken, if it's dinged, it's dinged. It could have been border. It could have been the border patrol, like customs, right? So if they had to open it, whatever the situation is, I don't know. But if it shows up broken or it doesn't, no matter what happens, it's going to be on me. And how many of those happen before you lose your international shipping ability?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's my concern. That's my thought. Because if that hammer falls, then to me, eBay's really just a hobby, right? Without the American buyer, it's just a hobby.
Yeah, it's hard to say what exactly is happening there because you don't have enough information. But yeah, that's very annoying though.
But at least it wasn't a negative; it was a neutral. But
still.
So if it was broken, send me a picture. I'll reimburse. But if it's not broken, I kind of want to fight back a little bit.
I would contact eBay on this.
On the broken soldier?
Yeah. And see what they say.
Well, I don't think they're going to say too much.
You never know. But you might have to call more than once to get the right person. But
the book is more important in my mind to talk to eBay about because I want to know why they returned it. Because if they return it with buyer's remorse or they didn't deliver on time, that's out of my hands. I'm not going to get dinged for that. But if they say it wasn't good, I need to tell eBay, listen, these things are brand new. Like, they came out of the same, and I had positive reviews or on a couple, and a couple I had no feedback. But at the end of the day, they're all the same. Why would one guy complain but the other 4 guys not?
What would
they come out of the same box or exactly the same?
I might send the buyer an email just saying, if you don't mind, can I ask why you returned it so I can change my
I don't even want to open that can of worms because if eBay's got my back and they said not to worry about it.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't want to contact the buyer.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
want to just block them and stay out of it.
Yeah.
But my point is, like I've said this before, Carl, and I'm pretty sure I said it on this show, but I'm pretty much positive that going into 2026, I'm going to have to end up going back to work and then, do this as a hobby, part-time type thing. But it's just, it's just become too risky now in the way that things were being done.
Yeah. Well, last night I was actually on Two Dogs Dig show.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the last year and the next year. And I hated it, but I was very negative.
Okay.
Because there's no getting around losing the American market. Like, there's no fix.
Right.
Like, EIS is a Band-Aid, but we're still hemorrhaging, So, and EIS, I think, in my opinion, has been excellent. But there's no getting around losing that big part of the market. And, this is your full-time gig, right?
And if it's a full-time gig, it's too, I don't know, maybe people can be comfortable that way, but to me it's too risky, and especially if we're coming into some crazy economical hurricane, which it's probably not as bad as people are talking, and it's not going to be as good as nothing happening, but it's going to be somewhere in between. But at the same time, you like to kind of cover yourself, and I like money, Carl. You're right. Like I don't want to be not making it. I like it coming in. Like
I like to eat.
I'm not in that category yet, but I mean, it could if it goes on long enough, right? Like, who knows? Like, if the dollar falls out, and
you have to be responsible, is what you're saying. You have to be an adult.
I think you have to cover all angles, and
yeah,
and I think I don't regret jumping in and doing what I did. I just think
you did nothing wrong.
When you do that,
yeah,
there's outside forces.
Yeah, this is external.
That can really play havoc. Like, hey, listen, I worked at Toyota. I could have stayed at Toyota, and the whole thing could have moved to the U.S. or Mexico.
Yeah,
right. Like, there's things that could happen no matter what you're in.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. This just seemed to be, I don't want to say even unstable, because it was going really well, but I don't know.
I don't see anything changing in 2026. That's going to change the calculation, right?
Right. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Like, who knows? I don't know. But it's just the variables that happen. So do I regret making this move? Absolutely no regrets. Like, it was fun. But going into 2026, I think just based on my age and what I have left to offer that type of job and all this kind of stuff, I think I just have to kind of play it. I have to play it safe. I have to kind of play it, whatever. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. Like, if I combine the two and my knowledge that I've gained over the next 5 years, like, things could be really good going forward. Right. So,
nothing beats a full-time salary in this on the side, because a lot of the stuff for this on the side is to be done anytime anyways.
But doing it full-time, I've created sources on both buying and selling.
Yeah.
I've created I think I've really expanded my knowledge compared to what someone doing it part-time all the time would, based on how much effort you could put into it. You're only going to get out of it. So I think there was a lot of benefits doing what I did. I mean, those benefits are yet to be reaped, I guess, right? Like, you have to, I'm going to have to wait for those benefits to show or pay off. But, I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. But when I start seeing, okay, everything was kind of tampered with, and now the thing that might be pulling me into okay zone is going to be tampered with returns. You know what I mean? You're right. So one's a neutral. It's not even a return. So my mind's already put it into this bad possible category, which really isn't there yet. And the one return, eBay has taken my side, so I'm not going to get. But it's just hit after hit after hit. It's like, how many of these going into 2026 can I take?
Yeah, things were normal. These returns or neutrals would not affect you nearly as much, right?
No, because they're not going to shut down my store from them. I'm just going to reimburse the person, ask to revise it. But when it's international shipping, there's no return. Like, if they open up a return thing, eBay's going to take it and they're going to be okay with it as far as paying it out, but it's not going to look good on my account. It can't possibly, because they're not going to keep paying for my account.
Yeah, I don't know how it works. Like, for example, like your positive feedback percentage, supposedly that doesn't have an effect on your account at all.
I think it's your service metrics.
It's your metrics that matter, right? Like, are you late shipping? Do you have a high rate percentage, a return percentage? Do you have I'm not described or not received percent? Maybe not even not received, but I am not as described percentage. Like, that metrics matter.
So my service metrics right now are like 0.000. I'm way at the bottom. My peers are at 0.07%.
Yeah. So, but we don't know how they're handling EIS, and I haven't heard anyone being booted out yet. But
it only started mid-October.
Right. So
I mean, dude, if you're really bad if you're booted out within like 2 months of it starting.
I'm sure there have been.
I don't know.
There's like, some bad boys in this.
Yeah, 50 returns in a month. Okay, that's a little different. But
I've often wondered about that. Like, what happens if someone's scamming on the other end? You kind of think about that a little bit. Like, I sold some tarot cards this week, $160. And what was kind of interesting, actually, is the guy I think he's in Spain. I just assume he's in Spain. EIS. And it automatically translated his messages to me in eBay, which is kind of interesting. Anyways, he's one of these zero, feedback buyers, which is fine. I don't care. But I was like, oh, and he was anxious for me to ship it, which could be true, especially if you're a brand new buyer from another place. You're kind of wondering what's going on. And I was like, what happens if like people take advantage of this? Like, I wonder what happens, because like you said, we're not really involved. Once it goes to Mississauga, that's it, right?
That's it.
But I just see it as eBay's problem. Like when I was on the show last night, Greg and Rick were saying the one thing they don't like about EIS is it takes a long time to get to the customer. Obviously, right? Because we're shipping it to Mississauga. eBay Canada has to deal with it, and they have to ship it out. And they were saying one thing took a long time.
Yeah.
But in eBay's defense, that's when the EIS program was pretty new, and so they're probably getting the kinks out of the system, right?
Yeah.
But what I said to them is, I never check. It's just funny. It's like, once I ship something out, if I don't hear anything, no news is good news, right?
Yeah, if you don't hear anything, but maybe they're hearing stuff too, right? Like, especially with Christmas, maybe they're saying like, "Where's my item?"
I asked. Yeah, I asked. Did they say anything? I went, no. Then I would leave sleeping dogs lie, right? But I can understand all these things. Like, for me, it's like, it's not a problem until it's a problem. But like, with these returns that you're talking, like, I can understand what you're saying. You're worried about your metrics, right? I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, for me, I would worry more if something actually happened at that point and then argue it. But
I might have 3 issues in a year, kind of roughly. But right now I've had 3 or 4 issues all around international shipping within the last couple of months, or maybe even within the last month. So my point is, that's a whole year's worth of problems, all based around the international shipping. And it's not eBay, it's customer. It's, even eBay sided with me, right? But I'm just saying, like, where does that go? Where does that end? What is this telling me? It's not sitting easy in my brain, that's for sure. Like, it's telling me maybe eBay's changed a little bit and they're advertising to more people that aren't normal collectible buyers. They're more, maybe it's Christmas time. Maybe it's Christmas buyers that really don't understand. Maybe the book was the wrong book. They didn't mean to purchase the right book. Like,
who knows?
I don't know. You know what I mean? But if I could just reimburse them and forget about it, that was fine. But now that option is kind of gone, where they're just going direct to return.
Yeah, you keep the money though. So,
well, I mean, that part's nice, but nothing,
great.
keeping nothing of nothing is nothing. You know what I mean? Like if eBay shuts my international shipping down, I can say I get to keep the money all I want, but if I'm not able to sell on that platform any longer, nothing of nothing is nothing.
I would just hope that they would send you at least a warning first, but who knows?
Well, like they did Jamie when they shut his whole entire countdown.
Yeah,
that warning.
I can't remember the circumstances. That was Etsy though? Was it eBay too, or just Etsy? Because Etsy, he was breaking the rules.
Yeah, well, but that's what I mean. Like, where does it end where eBay considers me a liability? And it's more of the unknown than it is anything else. Like, I just don't know.
Yeah.
So uncertainty is not the life I want to live. It's, do I want to count on something that I don't know what's going on? You know what I mean? In that regard. Am I making sense at all, Carl?
I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
And it's easy for me to say, don't worry about it as I sit here, and it's not one of my prime ways of making money, right?
For sure.
So I get it. I'm just saying that I would look and see if anyone's complaining about it. And I'm sure there's a lot of this going on with as eBay's figuring out EIS too, right? Like, who knows what they're going on in the background on their end too.
So that guy not receiving the item, like, who knows what's going on there? But eBay had my back on that. So like, this has nothing to do with eBay. eBay's great, dude. eBay has been absolutely fantastic. I know people complain, and maybe there's the odd little minor thing that could be adjusted or whatever. I don't know everybody's situation, but as far as I'm concerned, they've been great. The international shipping program is a life-changing, like, it's based on what we had to deal with. It's kind of basically completely keeps you in the game.
It's added about 25% of my sales now is eBay international shipping.
Yeah, I think it's added more.
And like I said, the nice thing is you just ship it to the friggin' Mississauga and you're done.
Like, I would say I'm down based on what it was like August 29th. But as far as the amount of sales that I'm getting, probably the sales are down, but probably 60 to 70% are still American buyers and international shipping. Meaning that the amount of those sales going to the US is way down, but the percentage of my sales is mostly international shipping.
Yeah. And for me, I think most of the EIS is not United States, but actually Europe. But I actually don't really know.
I've only had 2, I think, go to Europe.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I haven't had a huge increase of that market at all. Might be just the items I saw. Like, a lot of my items might not pertain to that market, right? Because a lot of what I sell is, American, Canadian. I mean, maybe something German, but it's probably abundance of stuff over there. But it's older antique. Like, I don't know.
It's hard
the toy soldiers. I think the market is flooded over there. If you look at Australia and France, they sell a ton of these toy soldiers.
Yeah, you never know.
They seem to come from France and Australia for whatever reason. But
like, for me here, like, I sold out some Lucky Luke toys and they went to Germany. That's just the last. But I had to click into the item to see actually where it eventually went.
Yeah, I've been clicking on the buyer's I don't know, eBay name, I guess you'd call it, right?
You could do that too.
That, it'll just say it's in the US.
If you look at the order, though, you can actually see their exact address too. But you do whatever you want, of course. Yeah. But
I just do it every time I'm shipping it out. I'm just curious to see where it goes.
Yeah, this one's going to Spain. The tarot cards is going to Spain. Just taking a quick look. One more. And this one is going to United States. So it's a mix. And whatever. It doesn't matter. Like in the end, I like it. I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Doesn't make up for the loss of America, but still it's better than another thing hitting us. Yeah. So yes, it is really hard, and it's been interesting listening to people legitimately complaining when it's their full-time job, or like even at the market, people say things are down.
Yeah.
And because my average every Sunday is I think $200. So
well, I heard, I go ahead. Sorry.
Which isn't a lot, right? Because like $68 of that is my booth fees. So really, I'm probably breaking even at $200 and not getting paid for my day there, right?
Right.
But the other thing too is I've been thinking about is like the market is down a lot, but what I think a lot of it is the change in the market for like Facebook Marketplace, where if you want to buy these items, you could either come down to this market or you could just look on Facebook Marketplace too, right? And not leave your home. I think that's probably affected the market a lot. Because like if you're talking about an antique market like you have,
yeah,
it's not the same thing as Facebook Marketplace, right? You have a lot more variety and higher end stuff, right? Where my market is much more varied, the stuff you're going to find there.
Yeah, I think people just like to get out and do something.
That too. Yes.
Right.
But if you're a collector, and let's be like for me, like the collectors, the ones that probably bring in the most money at the market because they're there to looking specifically for something. This is my impressions. I'm not saying I'm right.
Yeah.
But my impressions is that the market, I don't get a lot of casual sales. A lot of the times it's people looking through my records to buy a record or looking through my toys to buy a specific toy with the occasional odd thing that someone's just getting because it's cool.
I've struggled trying to figure this out. And I don't think I'm too far off from you. I'm thinking outside of the Facebook Marketplace thing, which is just something I didn't think of. I'm not saying it's not. I think there's good reason to think that, and I don't disagree with you at all. But I think another variable on collectibles is possibly eBay. People are getting more comfortable with it. But I would also say the online auctions are like you can find a lot of things. If you scroll through 2 or 3 auctions within, I don't know, an hour of your home or 40 minutes of where you live, most collectors, could buy local advertising, that kind of thing. I don't know, but I'm just saying that things are going to eventually pop up. So I think there's a lot of things. I think you said Facebook, but I would add more to that. Kijiji, eBay, online auctions, or just auctions in general if you can find the live ones. I think.
Yeah, I guess I would say with eBay, like you there's a couple things you mentioned there, right? One is the effect of eBay. eBay's, let's be honest, has been around for what, like 20, 25 years now? It's
been around for a while, but in all honesty, like there's a lot of people that just don't use eBay.
There is.
And I think the pandemic has changed that a bit. I think people kind of got comfortable with online shopping. You know what I mean? Because you got to remember too, when you're a collectible buyer, a collector, like you kind of want to see what you're buying, and I think that ability to see it in person and hang on to touch it, look it over. I think eBay's really focused on descriptions a lot in photos. And I think people are becoming more comfortable with that because maybe in the past they didn't. I don't know. I'm just guessing, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just a bit like I'm just thinking back when I used to collect portrait miniatures, right? And where would I go looking for these things? It's a higher end antique, right?
Yeah.
I would check eBay. And I did buy off eBay from people in UK when you were allowed to ship stuff like that. And I would check online auctions. You know where I never checked? was my local markets, because it would be a lot of walking around for a very
100%.
low
Yes.
for a very low chance of actually finding that, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I was looking for something more common, like say a GI Joe, like a common GI Joe, well, that I might actually prefer going to the local toy market where there's toy vendors, because they're going to have stuff like that, right? Where if I order it off eBay, the shipping is probably going to make that actually more expensive than getting it from the local guy, right?
Yeah, but
So,
by the time you put gas and time and the chance of not finding it is as good as finding it. Like, I mean, there's a lot, um
but
I think there's a lot of benefits to eBay, even if there is some shipping. You can negotiate on eBay too, right? Like you can negotiate with your buyer, say, listen, can you take 10% off or something, right? But anyways, um I see your point there, Carl. I'm not disagreeing with you.
yeah,
I just think people are gonna have different thoughts based on who they are and what they're comfortable doing. Um, Definitely online is way easier. You can sit in your underwear and order something rather than going out and hunting for the day. I think a lot of collectors too, and we talked about this. Antique Nomad is one guy that's kind of initiated this thought. We talked about it the one day, but a lot of those, and I'm talking antiques here, not your 1980s and 90s toys type thing. I'm like going antique deep. I think a lot of those people are, it's sad to say, it's unfortunate, but either are dying off or just they're not into it. Like they're getting older and they're more into the downsizing rather than the collecting aspect, right?
well, or they're stuck in a time period that no one actually wants the stuff from anymore. That happens as
Well,
well.
well, they're collectors, so they're the ones that want it. Like, right? So I'm talking
Yeah,
about those guys. Like, I just think they're they're winding it down. You know what I mean?
there's definitely people like that at the market,
So
but
there's a shift going on, which probably has always gone on. Like
I think it's always gone on.
I think so too.
I think maybe it's been accelerated a bit just from what people are collecting. Like, if I look at the market, the average buyer is probably, if I just to be honest, be in around 30. The average seller is probably around 50 or 60.
And I mean, there's a lot of variables going into it too. Our dollar, you could argue that it goes less, but you could also say, well, you know what, you're charging what it's worth. So if people aren't buying it, you just lesser the price, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's different ways to look at it. I just think, you know, maybe people don't have the amount of extra money to do things in large amounts of people. Like obviously some people do, some people don't, but maybe
Yeah.
more people are feeling the pinch. I don't even know where we're going with this right
Yeah.
now.
I've lost track. The train's gone like off on
But
a side trail somewhere. But
I'm just I don't
you're
know.
talking about markets and stuff. Yeah. How things are going.
Well, I have heard other markets say they're not doing well. I
Yeah.
personally think our market is still doing well, even though it's Christmas. The weather's been bad. We've had a lot of freezing rain. We've had
Oh,
some
yeah.
snow
We had a
days.
nasty one yesterday. Thank God.
So, dude, that could easily have been the
Yeah.
difference of $300, $400, $500, right? You have three
Yeah.
bad days. Who knows what sells in those 3 days to have made that difference, right?
You know what has been nice though? I always found in the past this time period now from the end of Christmas to January,
Right.
let's say 15th, has always been my busiest
Yeah,
time,
I
and my
found that
sales
it
this week
goes.
have actually been higher. So it was like more than one cha-ching every 2 or 3 days. Now it's been a cha-ching every 12 hours, which has been nice, I must admit.
Yeah, and you know what? If somebody comes in and buys a piece of furniture or one of my big items, that pushes it. I still got today to before I start judging the whole month, right? Because sometimes you just have that one big item that pushes your month up there.
Yeah.
So today, and the show will end before today's over, but today being the 31st as the time of the recording, um, my month could technically still have a chance to eke out and become I don't think it's going to become a fantastic month. They'd have to buy like a lot of stuff, but it could just be a normal average month, like hitting the target that I set for each month, So nothing's doom and gloom, but I mean, when you start going down the road of what's going on, I mean, your mind's going to make all sorts of, it's going to judge everything. You know what I mean? Like it goes down all sorts of rabbit holes. But so anyway, I don't know.
The fun part is we get to create new Excel sheets next week. That'll be fun.
Well, I just want to go back onto what you had said. I do agree that January, I think October has always been my best month. This year, like last year, probably the same. But going into 2026, we'll see, because January is usually, like you said, the second best month. So we'll see. Like, that'll be a good indicator of how maybe 2026 is going to look like, right? So
yeah, at least for the first 2 weeks. That's it. Like,
yeah, for some reason. I always had a really good January, like even kind of sometimes edging into February, depending on the weather.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
February, when the weather was kind of springish in February a couple of years ago, that was a great month. So I don't know. Like, I think when you start doing this, I think as any type of seller of anything, you're always trying to forecast. You're always trying to guess the market.
And I always take a chicken and look at the intestines to try and figure out the future. I'm old school.
I don't go there. That's kind of more like cultish and borderline. I don't even want to say
bash my religion.
Chicken bones, dude.
Anywho, yeah, we'll see. But did you make any good buys this week, or was it kind of like, because this week was really weird with Christmas in the middle? Like, I don't know what happened to the week, but it got all smooshed. I went to an auction, but I was a good boy, and I only picked up a couple of things because there's nothing there. Everything I wanted went for money, of course.
Yeah.
And all the rest was just junk I didn't want. So I bought a mixed jewelry bag for some reason, which I will be handing over to Serge immediately because there's absolutely nothing in it. And I bought these cool scissors, and I had to use. I asked people what they were for because they were kind of like duck billed, like vintage or antique scissors, really, like 100 years old, and they had a duck bill to them. And someone said for a wick, but it turned out they're for cutting grapes, so you don't damage the fruit. It's like the most snooty thing. These are my grape cutting scissors. Anyways, I bought those, but really I shouldn't have even bought those. So. Sorry, I asked you a question and then answered it myself. So, did you get anything?
No, I don't think I did. I hit 2 thrift stores, local. I don't know. I don't really go thrift shopping that much. I've said that before, but I hit a couple here. There was really nothing. They're smaller. They're not the big ones that you go to. They're smaller. Yeah. Salvation Army and a Goodwill, but they're smaller. I just find things are, I don't know. They just, to me, to me, they don't even speak to me like they used to. Like, I remember, Chris, fortunately, 2025, he passed away. We've talked about him before.
Yeah.
But even when he kind of, we were doing that show together and I would go to the stores then, like, it seemed there's something here. There seemed hope. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I went in there, I was optimistic. But now I go in there and it seems very, it seems like if I was to try to unload stuff that I couldn't sell and I put it into a thrift store, that's what I'm seeing.
Right.
Like, very cheapy toys, very kind of blah glasses and mugs, and it's almost like either they're getting picked really hard, which is probably the case, or they're onto it. And I don't really know the answer to that. I mean, I can speculate, but I really don't know the answer to that. Maybe there's 1,000 Carls that come in at 9 o'clock and clean house, right?
Waiting for the carts to come out. Yeah.
Like, I think I have a, I don't know. I'm not tooting my own horn, but I think I've done this long enough to have a good indicator of things that have value. Not saying I don't miss stuff. Don't get me wrong. But, I mean, if you just want to go to simplify it, no tarot cards, no interesting anime toys or toys of other than like Playmobil or, Fisher Price or like little kind of things like that. There's nothing. If I go to any of the art, it's not even original paintings anymore. You used to see at least like forest paint, like original paintings of like forests. I don't even see those anymore. Like, it's all like IKEA and Walmart lift like prints on these wrapped canvas around a frame type thing. Like,
I see a lot of HomeSense.
Oh, HomeSense. Maybe that's a good term.
And I'm just looking in a bag because I just went yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And I picked up no home runs and probably stuff I shouldn't have bought. But if like you said, the thrift stores around here are very different, where they just have so much volume they can't even really capture everything that goes through.
Well, first of all, your thrift stores are bigger.
That's what I meant. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Here, they're small little places.
Yeah, they probably have a slow turnover.
I said that right off the beginning. These are smaller places to begin with.
Yeah,
but there still should be something. There still should be something that catches my eye, even something that pulls me to it of interest, and it's broken even. But there's none of that. There's just there's just I don't know personally. That's it. It was like not just the one. Like, I went to the two, but I found at one point I could go in there optimistic and I could find something.
Yeah, it's changed.
That wood carving that I picked up for like $3 and sold for $125. Like,
yeah,
there's different things that would catch my eye, but right now it's like walking into Walmart, HomeSense, or IKEA and having to buy used stuff out of their stores rather than new. That's what I'm feeling. That's
I can see that. It can be really the time of year too. Can make a big difference.
Yeah.
Of when they're getting the donations. And honestly, here in Ottawa, I don't even really hit the smaller ones that often, like the Salvation Armies or the Mission ones. I'll hit them if I happen to be right there.
Yeah.
But I never make a trip to them. It's always to Value Village, simply because of the volume of stuff Value Village here gets is multiples of what the Salvation Army gets. And with those smaller thrift stores, I find stuff sits on the shelves forever, because at Value Village, they have color tags on everything, and once a week they pick one color tag and pull it all. So you're never going to find anything that's been on the shelves for 6 months, or 4 or even 3 months or 2 months, because it gets pulled.
Well, here's another thing. We're kind of foreshadowing for 2026. I mean, this is the end of 2025, so I'm kind of like going into 2026. What could I expect to see? What could happen? What kind of changes? So one of the things I'm seeing too is there was an online auction house that I used to enjoy. I used to buy, a handful of things. They'd have a weekly auction, and probably 2 to 3 auctions of the 4 a month, I would buy a handful of things,
Yeah.
But even going on there, probably since, I don't know, this year was a little bit messed up because of the move, so there was a lot going on, but I would still pop on there. But I remember seeing 2 of the people that worked there going through yard sales, and we stopped and talked. We had a conversation, and they're asking how's things going and all this kind of stuff, blah blah blah. And I'm like, holy crap, I haven't seen these guys. So this is probably September. I haven't seen them since probably July, August, just by the time we moved. So, but I'm just like, wow, I haven't seen you guys for a long time, right? Like we haven't seen each other for a while. And I said, like, I've been going on the site, but I just haven't seen anything that's interesting to me. I'm gonna also give that a little bit of credit in that I was moving, so I was a little bit more picky too, right? I ended up
Yeah.
having to have a yard sale and all this kind of stuff. So I wasn't so it wasn't like normal, but at the same time, there was really nothing that stood out that I really wanted to bid on. Um, and that has continued to today. I haven't picked up anything. So my point is that it'll be interesting to see what happens because I find that a lot of people who have passed on or are downsizing are now going to the auction houses. They're probably not just donating it. They might be doing a full online auction. That's possibility and why we're seeing less in the thrift stores. Um, but I just find that even the auctions are very like here's a pile of books, here's a pile of DVDs, here's some blankets, here's a closet full of linen, here's some bath towels, here's contents of a sink which includes shampoo and like those aren't collectibles, dude, right? Like
No.
those aren't things I'm going to be going after, right? And you might eventually get to like, you know,
Yeah.
like one of those, you know, what do you call them? TV, not a, like an entertainment set or stand or whatever they're called, right? Like you'll see those things which are heavy or they just don't fit the TVs of today, so they're kind of obsolete. But contents including a VCR and some you know dish controller.
There's a lot of junk out there sometimes at auctions, right?
It's just a lot of junk. You got to really push through all the garbage to try to find that diamond in the rough.
I don't mind that on online auctions. It's where the live auctions are doing that. You're like, oh my god, kill me.
Yeah.
Well, what was it? This last one, and sales were there. They were doing choice lots, and the auction just like slowed down because they had like 1,000 diabetic socks lots.
Yeah.
And then 1,000 coin set lots and 1,000 die card lots. And they're just going,
fell asleep.
Oh my god! It's like stop with the socks. It's like I was like, oh my god, I want to go home.
Yeah,
it's like a half an hour of stuff I don't give a crap about, and taking forever with each lot. Here's some more diabetic socks. It's like, oh, here's a coin lot, 1984. I was like, no, please stop. Anyways, yes, there is a lot of junk. I agree with you.
Right.
And the times where I do buy stuff is rare, but honestly, I've always found that kind of true anyways. Like where I actually find a lot that I really get excited about is probably once every 3 or 4 months, to be honest. It is pretty rare. Like, those tarot cards I was talking about where I sold for $160. I actually picked those up about a month and a half ago. That was the first lot I probably picked up in a while, right?
And people are knowing values. Like, I mean, I'm not complaining. Like, to each their own. I'm not complaining. I'm just, I mean, I think you have to look at the future and find out what's going. So, I'm going to sneeze here, but,
one thing actually, you just reminded me. I was talking to someone at the market, and he was talking about garage sales, and he's been doing this for 30 years.
Yeah,
like he was showing me posters of when they had their first conventions that he actually held for 1976. And the funniest thing is, it's like they had their second big market, and the newspaper put it in as the second best market of the year, like second tier market. They put a mistake in the newspaper. Anyways, that was pretty funny. Anyways, my point being, he counts how many garage sales he goes to. He used to go to 3,000, believe it or not, every year.
Yeah.
He says it's now down to 500 because it's so fewer or less. I always forget whatever the one is for garage sales. And this guy records them all. I'm a guy after my own heart. But so there has been a shift for sourcing for sure. But people still have crap. Like it still has to go somewhere, right?
Well, I think you can, but when you're looking at crap and you're looking at this and you're finding the diamond in the rough, then all of a sudden you get someplace good. Like this guy that I talked about probably a month ago now. He had the cameras and he had the toy dinosaur and all that kind, like the Fred Flintstone thing.
Yeah.
Like I never got a call back, but he was feeling me out to see how interested I was of buying his cameras at full retail price based on, maybe a 10-20% discounted of what eBay's offering. So he's definitely been on eBay and buys all, or is
Pumping it.
looking at all. So it's getting tougher that way too. I mean, this isn't stuff we haven't talked about in the past, but I'm just saying, like, I think going into 2026, what can we expect? I mean, I'd like to hear viewers' comments on that. That's for sure.
Sourcing good stuff is always been a challenge for me, and it feels almost random when I come across something.
Dude, honestly, like, and it's funny that you said that, because if I look here and I see what I have here, I could probably go a whole year without really sourcing. You know what I mean?
Easily.
Like, right? Like, so should I complain?
Yeah.
Well, I think I should.
Stuff is fun.
Well, I think I should, because, I could clear this out and keep going, but is this a trend that's continuing to the point where I'm not going to be able to source? Like, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm just finding that
I feel you out there.
I feel a shift. I feel things are shifting a little bit. And am I becoming, I don't know. I don't want to say lazy, but am I being more picky in what I'm getting, as far as I see the amount of work into something, and maybe I'm not. I don't know what the difference is. Maybe I'm shifting too, is what I'm getting at. Like,
possibly, yeah.
Like I don't really know, but
you've also had like the toy soldiers, and then before that you had the
still got them. Dude.
You still got the toy soldier, and then before that you had the books, right?
And I still got the books too,
right? And then you had the trains, and so you
still got the trains. Yeah.
So my point being that these big buys, and even from other people like Storage Warrior, they got a huge comic book lot, and then they got a huge quality Barbie lot, and you got the quality GI Joe stuff, right? And it's like,
I mean,
I'm not saying you never find anything.
To what the return was, there's definitely a huge argument to be made that I didn't pay much for the toy soldiers, but I did pay all in. I'm probably like $8,000, plus I kind of, give a little bit to the person that set me up. So, I mean, $10,000 altogether, right? Now, if you look individually, I paid nothing for the soldiers compared to what they've been selling for. But, the books, $1,000, like, I don't know. Where am I going with this, Carl?
I'm just saying that the big wins are what keeps you going in a way, right? It's the little bunts. Like, one thing I was talking about on the weekend with someone is like, I'm amazed how much up to retail people pay at the market, right? And they'll pay 1 to 2. So like, if something's worth 10, they'll pay $5 or even 6 or 7, which shocks me because I'm used to the 1 to 4. And one of the other owners was saying, yeah, he's gone that direction as well, where you have to pay more. And that's going back to what you're saying about people looking things up on eBay. But for those big wins, they are pretty rare. But,
well, I think the toy soldier for me is a one-off. I don't think there's anything comparable to that.
Well, that's why I mentioned a few of your one-offs, right?
Yeah. But as far as getting into a house, it's just, I don't know. I guess I'm a picker more than a reseller. Like, I've always said that. So when the picking has changed and shifted, maybe mentally, it's.
What I get frustrated about was what you had, the example you have with the camera guy. Is like, you take the time, you go out there, they have a bunch of cameras, and they want retail for it, and then you're like, and then they're like, they seem almost pleased that they're offering you 10 or 20% off retail. Like, this is the bargain of the century.
Yeah.
I get frustrated with that.
And to a collector, it is. But
it is, but you're not a collector.
And I'm not doing the work. I'm not doing the work to sell his items with a little bit of a incentive.
They discount that completely, all the work that's involved, right?
Yeah.
But and then and if your argument is that's getting worse, I would agree with that argument. But
I just think the quality stuff is getting
rare.
Is getting worse. Like it's more competitive, maybe a term.
Yeah. Like when I went to the auction this weekend, all the good stuff that was in good condition went for good money. Like there's a peanut cookie jar, and not the Mr. Peanut with the top hat. This is a dark blue one, right? And it goes for about 100 to 150. Well, it went for $50, right? Like not enough room. Or a train set I really like, it went for 60. And when you add in the commission and everything, that's 80 or 90 bucks and goes for 150. Like it's just not enough room. And that's the good stuff. And then you're sitting there through the thousands of diabetic socks, right? And you're thinking,
yeah,
God damn it.
and maybe my mentality has shifted a little bit too, because of the crap we kind of had to go through. We've talked about forever, including earlier. Yeah. But when you invest stuff into things like the trains and you put the time in it, you look it up, you price it, you throw it in your booth, 20% of it has sold and the other is sitting there.
Yeah.
Right.
That's part of the game, right?
Right. So now do I take it out of the booth and try to sell it online, put something else in there? Well, I got lots of toy soldiers, so I do kind of keep it there until I get a chance to even get to it. Because if I bring it home now, it's just going to sit on the shelf till I'm done the toy soldiers. Because then you got to meticulously go over them and make sure like everything is good. And then you get a return, and then you get a return, then you get a broken soldier. Then you're like, I'm gonna put it all back in the booth, and then it sits there.
You screw all this and go write a book.
It's just like, are you kidding me? This is out of hand. This is and then the tariffs are the de minimis changes, and then candle to post strike.
My wish for 2026 is a very boring year. That's one boring.
I know we talked about this before, Carl, but I don't think it is. I mean, just look at the price of silver, dude. That's got to tell you. That's got to tell you.
Silver. The coin guy next to me at the market. Silver every day, every 20 minutes, someone comes over and says, "Have you heard the price of silver?" It's kind of funny,
dude. So if you go to Canada Post, they got these little cubicles, like they're locked cabinets.
Oh yeah, with little coins in them. Yeah,
and they got, like, I was looking at the silver coins, and actually the deal was pretty good. $108, and gold has shot up over $100, and it was a full ounce, 32.
You say gold or silver?
It's silver. The ones I looked at were silver.
Yeah.
32.1 grams or something. Comes out just a little over an ounce. But anyway, so I'm like, $108, that's not too bad, right? Like, I don't even know if taxes are on that or not, but
there would be.
If you go, I think I looked it up. If you go to Canadian Mint and you buy it, there's no taxes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. So because you're just exchanging money for money, I'm going to assume you're correct that there's taxes on that, Carl.
I think it depends on the purity, but anyways, that's something I don't know enough about. I know with sovereigns, it pisses me off because the gold sovereign isn't pure enough to be tax free.
Anyway. Yeah. So anyway, so I'm in there and I'm like, should I buy this? Like, is there a correction, and does the prices change based on the fluctuation? Like, there's just a little sign in front of it. Like, do they change that based on, the how the market changes?
I guess it depends on the postal.
Right?
Do they care? Like, I'm sure it's all automatic for them.
That's what I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
I just don't know. These are my questions that I'm asking myself while I'm standing there waiting to be the next in line. So anyway, so I looked at it and I don't know. For me to sit here and buy it at 108, pay taxes or whatever, it's going to end up being $120 at the end of the day. I'm like, you know what? It's interesting, and it's something maybe I'll think about, but today I'm not going to. So anyways, I go back the next day. It's all empty. They're all bought. And I said to the lady, I said, like, did somebody just come out and buy all your silver? She goes, oh, we didn't have much, but yeah, they came in and they bought it today. She goes, do you pay attention to that? And I'm like, a little bit. It's going great. She goes, I don't pay attention to it, but yeah. So it is gone. Like,
I'm sure there's people with eBay listings have sterling silver that's probably selling below spot now, simply because they're not paying it. Like, that would be me. Like, if I put up a silver ring, I'm not like paying attention to the price of silver.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you go to antique stores, gold, maybe not so much, but sterling, you'll 100% find sterling.
Below
That's under
spot.
spot price.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
I know with the coin guy,
you'll find a ring or I mean, you're not buying big chunks of it though, right? Like you're buying like a ring that might be $20, $25, like I don't know, like depending on the size of it. Like I mean, we're talking over $100 of silver right now. So anyway, you might find it for 10 or 15 bucks or $12.95 or something like that. Yeah. So you'd have to buy a lot, but
and know your shit.
You'll definitely find that kind of stuff, right? In an antique.
For sure. I get shown it every weekend. Someone showed me sterling they got every weekend, but you have to hunt for it. And,
and I don't want to sound like a I don't want to like, if people do that, I think that's a great thing. That's good. But I think, I don't know, dude, I don't have a crystal ball, but I think that kind of buying might have been, you might have missed, I don't know. I just find to buy for scrap price is a little risky. You know what I mean? Like, it just, for spot price.
When you're buying for scrap, then you're not investing in it. You're just like, I buy it for X, I can sell it for X plus Y, right? Like, there's no speculation there. Unless you're buying it to hold on to. That's
like that car I bought is 172 grams. I paid $2 for it. It's worth $500 right now, right? So,
right.
Like, that's fine. But I'm just like, if you're going out and you're just trying to buy it right now at what its current scrap price is, like, that sterling ring was probably sitting there for 2 years, and the price of $10 was over scrap price. It was just a nice ring that happened to be sterling, so they put $15 on it, where if you scrapped it out, you'd get $10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now it's popped over. And I'm not a silver or gold speculator. I don't know. Like, you can only go, but I think if silver is as popular as as they're saying it is, as far as for technology, there's no way the government can allow that to go out of hand. I just don't know if they can. Can they stop it? I don't know about that either. But like, if you're paying so much more on a solar panel at Canadian Tire because of the silver content, you're just not going to buy it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, the technology can't afford to pay. I don't know. I don't know this, Carl. I'm only saying that like, if you're buying a car battery that's going to get you 600 kilometers, maybe that's a different story, because you're buying a car for, I don't know, $50,000, $60,000. What's $63,000? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or they change the materials they're using. They definitely do that with car batteries. Like, they'll use
but
and they'll switch to something else. You know,
for sure, I can understand that. But if you use silver, and this is the technology they've developed, and it uses silver, and it gets you 600 kilometers, but you use something else and it's going to get you 300 kilometers, that extra cost for that extra 300 kilometers may mean the difference of selling that car or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's a huge difference in time, and if you get a 9-minute charge as opposed to a 45-minute charge, that's a huge difference to people.
Oh yeah. Well,
you know about the new Samsung battery that's coming out, right?
I hear a lot of this future tech that never seems to actually reach here. But one interesting thing I heard the guy saying on the Sunday was he was saying a lot of the scrappers, the ones that take your metal and melt it down.
Yeah.
Refiners are not buying right now silver.
That's another thing too. Yes.
And they're not buying because they're worried about a dip, and then they get caught with a upside down transaction. So that kind of tells me something in itself too. If the refiners aren't confident in the longevity of this price, that's not a good sign. in terms of keeping it up. But who I can't I don't I'm out of crystal balls too.
Yeah.
So
Um
I like I do my investing
thing.
consists on things that have income. That's
Like I'm
what
sure
I
they'll buy it, but they're going to buy it under the scrap value, right? They're
much
not going to
lower than
pay, right? So
yeah.
if it's sitting around 98, they might give you 68 or 70 or something, right?
Right.
But,
where normally if things were more stable, they would have given you a higher spot percentage.
right.
Yeah. That makes so the big difference, like you said, with silver and gold is silver has much more of an industrial use.
Yeah. But, so I was watching this guy. He's a dealer of bullion, and he has a shop, and it's in the States, and a lot of people go to him. Anyway, he said, I believe it was 4 or 6 months ago. He said earlier this year, it was before it really took off, that if, and this is US dollars, if silver went over $100, he'd sell everything and just close his doors, because it doesn't make sense for the game that he plays with it, right? He wouldn't make money off it. I guess it'd be too risky. I should go back because I was listening to a lot of crap, but so there's a lot of people that it just becomes too risky, and then all of a sudden the only way you buy that stuff is through, Canadian Mint, or depending if you're in the US, whatever they have there. But like it's a different ball game. Like, who do you sell it to then? You know what I mean?
It's worth $100, but no one's willing to pay you $100.
Yeah, but or who do you even sell it for? Because I mean, pawn shops will buy it and stuff, but if it gets to the point where it's not something the bullion dealer is going to deal with, it's probably going to trickle down where, well, pawn shops aren't going to deal with it either. You know what I mean?
It's too volatile.
It's too volatile, and it's too expensive, right? Like, how much money are you keeping in that, on hand, right?
And then it could dip, and then you're like upside down. Like, and the reason I'm doing this is they've been burned in the past.
Yeah.
Right.
But
you look brilliant if price goes up, but you lose your house if the price goes down. It's like
it's also
exaggerating, of course, but
no, you got a point. So anyway, I don't know. We're kind of going a lot on the silver and gold aspect, and I know I brought it up, but I'm just saying it's all part of the game too, because when you're out there digging, you find these things, right? But there's a lot of things at play that can really affect things too, right? Like even banks, like they're talking about how it can do a run on banks, and how it's a trickle down effect, and it affects everything, right? So but I mean, hey, if you invested 20 years ago and you kind of stacked all this kind of stuff up, you're probably sitting pretty good. But to be able to sell it at its price today, and you bought it at, you paid $100 and you're expecting to sell it at 150, you might be surprised how hard it is to sell it that quickly with that kind of a run.
Yes.
Would you think so?
Yeah. Like even the coin guy said he's not buying because he's scared of a drop.
Yeah. And drops always happen, dude. They always happen. And sometimes the drops are hard because the rise was the faster and higher it rises, the harder, faster it's going to drop.
Volatile. Yeah. People don't, whatever. But yeah, I agree with all that. Like, but I've never been one to invest in, like, it's okay as a bit of a conservative part of your portfolio is to have minerals like silver, gold, platinum, or whatever. But for me, it's a very small percentage because it's speculation, really. You're hoping to buy something and then getting the next guy to pay you more for the same thing. It's not like you're buying a piece of like Ford and like they're actually making stuff and making profits and, that sort of thing. Maybe Ford was a bad example, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, dude, we're in this game. As resellers, we're in the same game. Instead of selling gold, we're selling
Funko Pops.
Funko Pops. Exactly. Right? Buy it low, sell it high. That's That's the game. It's like stocks. It's like everything else. So,
but I'm not holding on to my Funko Pops.
Well, no, but my toy trains go up to like $500. On top of what they are. Like that would be a nice little.
Yeah, I got my Star Wars collection of one guy with a broken lightsaber somewhere. But yeah, no, I'm not into the speculative game. I never have been, but I get the appeal for people. So
yeah, and maybe I'm totally out to lunch. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
You're just speculating.
I'm speculating, and I'm just kind of regurgitating things that I think I've learned, but they could be incorrect things. Maybe the bullion guy doesn't buy it, but you can easily go get scrap, price. You know what I mean? Maybe that's a possibility. You just have to know where to go and sell it. Like if I'm selling it to pawn shop guys, they have to have a person buying it from them. Who do they go to?
Oh yeah, right? They probably go to the refiners, I'm guessing.
So my point is that if you have that ability to know where to sell it, then you know what to do, right? Like if silver is that high and that good, and you can I don't know, I think they take a 10 or 15%. So if it's, let's just say for numbers, if it's $100 an ounce, they're going to pay you 85, and then they take it that day right to their guy and drop, like, sell it for 100. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm making up numbers just
for
conversation.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying if they're 10 or 15% or whatever they take off that, and they can deal with it that day, then it's in their interest, and they're going to do that, right? But
they're flipping the money, right? They're not holding on to it.
But what I'm saying is, I don't know that person to sell it to. I don't know to take. I don't have a connection to a refinery. Is there paperwork? Is there?
Oh yeah.
You have to have. I'm assuming, right? But you have to have a special license to sell it to them. Do you have to have permits? Do you have to have paperwork and all that other kind of stuff?
That's funny. My silver just sold. Believe it or not, my silver just sold online. My silver plate knives. That's what the cha-ching was.
Silver plate. That's
silver plate. So it's not even real silver, and I'm selling it.
Silver. It's because copper went up, and underneath that silver plate is copper. But
that's just a funny coincidence.
But it's one of those things where what you know, or the connections you have, or the ability to source or sell or whatever it is, makes a difference of what you're able to do too, right? So I do want to just add this though, Carl. Like, I've been clicking here, and it's only 12, so we've only been open for 2 hours, and it's a heck of a day right now.
Oh.
Where am I here? So I sold for $5 whole a tanker. Woo! So that would have been a little vehicle, like a die cast. A Batman VHS for $5, a train box car for 10, a book for 10, a die-cast car for $12.95, apartment with people for $20. Those are the ones that you like, those train things behind glass. The only reason they're behind glass, I know I only got $20, it's because they're very delicate. So, and then I sold a coat for $25. So
I got a whole $9 for these silver plate flatware knives. I'm surprised I have anything that cheap, to be honest.
So out of the booth, I've sold 7 items in 2 hours.
Wow. We're ripping it today.
Ripping it.
I bet you're going to lose money on these knives. Oh, well. Yeah.
So, anyway. So, another, basically, let me just think here. Another $400 now. Then I'll,
you'll be good.
Then the day is, or the month is on schedule. So, and the days we still got. Well, we only got 3 hours today. It's New Year's Eve, so we're closed at 3. So I got 3 hours.
Good. This sold to Ottawa. How much are they paying shipping? $12. Is it worth $12 to for me to actually physically go to Canada? Maybe.
So they want what, like a pickup, local pickup?
No, they don't.
Oh.
I took it off. I just deliver it and say it's in your mailbox for $12. I'm not sure. It's just funny.
Anywho,
do you want to should we get to the comments, or is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Well, what do you see for going into 2026, Carl?
Like I talked about on the show last night, I just see more of the same, to be honest. We're in the same boat. It's still leaking. So,
yeah, I don't see a calm before the storm. I see this. We're in the middle of the storm. I think we might be on the edge, and we're going. The waves are getting high, and the storm is about to break.
To
break us.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
like this year was so crazy that I'm scared to predict anything anymore.
I think, and I don't want to be Mr. Doomer because I'm usually not. I'm actually very optimistic. Usually,
depends on the week.
Yeah, depends how much sleep I had. I think, and I'm not just talking reselling. I'm just talking like life, dude. I think, hang on to your hats, folks. I think the next couple years are going to be. I mean, it depends how much you pay attention to your surroundings. If you just kind of hibernate and just kind of stick in your house, things might be pretty safe. You drive to work, you go home. You drive to work, you go home. Don't turn on the channel. But if you look at what's going on around the world and everything else, I think hey, take out politics. I'm not even going that route. I'm just saying, like, AI, technology, like the ability, like you were talking this, I think, before the show, Carl, with just the capabilities of how people can take something, have AI convert it into their own message, and then repost it, but under their own. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I was saying people are taking popular videos, AIing them, and releasing on their own channel.
Yeah. So just that kind of nonsense is just like insanity. People being able to imposter others using AI.
Oh, well past that, yeah.
No, but the technology is going to get good where you're not going to be able to tell the difference if it's not there already. Like,
I tell you, 10% of the society has no idea what a fake video is, and I'm just like, how could you not? But people don't.
And it's gonna get nuts, folks.
I think what we're going to see with AI is the dream true, or are we just going to get all bored of it, right? But
I think it's going to take 6 months to really kind of like start to affect us and stuff. But dude, maybe I should say this off the air. I don't know.
Say it off the air. I want to get into comments. This is like at the time of the podcast.
Let me just throw this out there. Go check out this type of books that are popular right now. Not like the subject of like aliens or ghosts or history, like nothing like that. Just look up I don't know, like I don't know how to say it without.
I'm waiting for this shoe to drop.
Sometimes I go down these crazy rabbit holes, but just look up. Just look up.
Opinions on the show do not necessarily reflect the opinions of all the hosts.
Just look up what people are reading in like popular books in like your fantasy genres.
Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, like it's changed a lot, dude. The orcs have controlled everything right now.
The orcs?
The orcs, isn't that what they're called?
Orcs, yeah.
Yeah. They're controlling. They got to be muscular and
I've been reading my old heavy metals. Those are pretty risque stuff they had back at that time. My God. They like the boobies.
I don't know. Like, I haven't read it, but I was going down this YouTube rabbit hole and just type in milking farm.
Oh, no, thank you. There's a few memes out there that I don't know what they really mean, and I never really want to.
Oh, check out that.
Sorry.
That's interesting. That's craziness. It's like societies.
Don't want to know. As a side, I thought, oh, it'd be kind of cool to get one of those big like fantasy art things, they used to do for like heavy metal and stuff like that.
Well,
You know how much that art goes for?
That's a good point though. Go
200,000, 300,000, 400,000 for the lesser known artists. If it's someone like Frank Frazetta, it's like 1, 2, 3 million. It's like, oh my god, it's crazy. I had no idea that stuff went for that much. Like the ones with like you're talking about the muscular guys, but like the Conan with the sword in the air with the half naked chick at his feet, on a bunch of skulls, like that kind of stuff. Oh my god, it's expensive. That dream went by pretty quick.
But
if it's 5,000, I could do it. Like, it wouldn't be smart, but I could do it. But 200,000, like, I could either have a new. Yeah, that's not going to happen. My wife would kill me for that, and justifiably.
Well, it's just it's interesting that you brought that up, because when you stop and think about it, what we kind of enjoyed as our generation and stuff like that, like, can you imagine our grandparents saying, "What the hell is going on with this generation?" You know what I mean? Like, there's that kind of aspect to things too. But
damn, rock and roll is going to ruin the youth of today. I tell you.
Yeah.
D&D is going to turn them all into like
Conan and those type of books actually probably date back 50s and 60s. So
I think it's even earlier.
Yeah.
I think Conan is actually 30s.
30s? Okay.
I think.
So, yeah. So I guess they understood it, but their parents might not have. We're going back in the 1800s now. Like,
there's always the latest scary thing, right? So
yeah, but to me, it could be a little bit more, but I don't want to get into that today.
Well, the author, he died in 1936 for Conan, so it's kind of hard to create something.
I mean, Conan does take part in the past, right? Like,
it's an alternative universe, yeah. Anywho, now I'm distracting everyone.
But it wasn't like a modern day type thing. It was sword and shield and, and half a deer for clothing, the hot deer hide. But
that hasn't changed too much. In fact, it's probably gotten even more spicy. Although they were pretty good. They were in. Anyways, blah 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 blah.
Anyway,
I'm all distracted.
But no, I think it's going to be very, very interesting going forward. So,
are you ready?
Yeah.
Spotify.
I'll
start.
Okay.
First one here is from Tina Mac.
Yep.
Happy New Year. You had me laughing at the Charlie Brown voice when women talk. I'm sure Carl hears that when Scott goes on the rant.
Wow. Touche. Good one.
Well, that's why I say my response is when things get really controversial is going to be that from now on.
We don't really get controversial here.
No. Well, we try not to.
You try not to.
Anyways, best of luck reselling and staying healthy this year. Yeah, healthy is. I'm sitting around too much, and it's not good for me.
Thank you for the comment, Tina. And I agree. I think one way to push through all the chaos is to focus on yourself, like on your health, on your mental stability. I mean, it's New Year's. You get all these New Year's resolution type things, but going to the gym and all this, but even just going for a walk, you know what I mean? Like,
is good. Yeah.
Eating one less cookie, don't eat the whole bag of chips. Kind of save that bag of chips for a couple of days.
Put it in a bowl and put the chips back. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, try to like limit your indulging and focus a little bit more on some physical activity. That's my goal,
Yeah.
And not a New Year's thing. It's something that I need to do, especially if I start looking at going back to work. I got to prepare. I got to train. But um, staying healthy this year, Tina, I think you probably hit the most important thing that I'm thinking is most important is self health. Like, I mean, mentally I'm fine. I might not sound like it here, but I'm a pretty stable guy. But physically, I really need to start getting back to my old days where, you know, I was into sports and stuff. I don't need to go. I'd like to, but I don't need to go that far back. But I need to kind of like, you know, the one thing about reselling, it's very stationary. Other than
It is.
lifting those short periods of time, but you're sitting behind a computer a lot. You're sitting a lot, right?
And even when we're buying, we're just like slowly walking around. We're not
Yeah, there's
even,
no real exercise.
not really. No, this is definitely
So
not.
so I think that staying healthy, I think, is a good goal. It
Yeah.
always should have been, but it slips. Trust me, I know more than
Once
anyone.
you're in your 50s, it's like things don't. You
I
lose
think
them
it's
if you
more
don't use them.
important then,
Yeah.
to be honest, because you got to kind of force it. Where, when you're younger, you're just active. You just automatically get there. But when you're older, you kind of force yourself to get out and do that kind of stuff. So that's probably one of the most important comments in my mind that we've had. Like, just for health,
It's funny. I got Chat GPT to remind me to do a walk and every day and where to go. And a couple days ago during the freezing rain, it says, "Okay, time for your walk." And I said, "Oh, it's freezing rain. I'm not going." It says, "That's okay. You can walk around the house a few times." It's like, you bastards! Don't even let me have the day off. It was
dude.
kind of funny.
You are your so okay. So I go down a few rabbit holes because
Oh
it's
no! Did I
very
start another
entertaining for
one?
me. But one of the things they said was, and I said, "There's no way." But you just proved them right, Carl. They said Gen Xers are one of the most generational people that rely on AI.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I'm like, Gen Xers. I said, there's no way. There's no way. Gen Xers are kind of like just pre technology. Like, I don't know. I lived on the farm till I was 16, so I I didn't even know what a computer was.
And
Like,
I grew up with it.
right?
But I'm 53, so I'm a
I'm
key
55.
55. Oh, okay. Well, there's not that much of a difference then, but
Yeah,
it really depends where you grew up too, because
yeah.
we
Well,
had tech early here, so like in my household, I mean.
yeah. Well, we were rural. I think I was like 13 before we had a VCR. Like,
Oh God,
and that maybe 14. I don't know. I'm
did
trying.
you stare at the fire for entertainment
Well, I had to hold the rabbit ears so my dad could watch the news. No,
on top of the roof? Minus
but
40. Yeah,
no, it's. But
yeah.
dude, like you kind of laugh at it, but honestly, it was a simpler. Like, I had so much fun.
Mm,
We had. It wasn't our farm. We lived on the farm. My dad worked for the town as like an employee of the town, so he had a job to go to. But we were basically the guy that run the farm. He had one daughter, and she was off married. So we were every day working with him. Like it was the best time. We had motorbikes. We had I had a pony at one time. Like like go hunting, you go fishing. Like, you had 200 acres to deal with, right? Like,
right.
as a kid, that was the best thing in the world. You're hungry, you go to the garden, you clean off a carrot, and you eat it. You know what I mean? Like, I swear to God, that was my life. Like, we build forts, we'd play in ponds and catch tadpoles and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so you find your entertainment. I didn't just stare at a wall or stare at a TV. Like, we didn't need TV. We'd play hockey in the driveway you know, until we got called in because it was dark out and everything else. Like, so there was a lot. Like, I remember playing hockey on a pond once, and this ferret. My dad kind of gave me heck for it. Like, not really. He said I did the right thing, but it come right up to us, and I'm like, rabies, and I smashed it with a hockey stick. You know what I
Oh
mean?
Jesus.
But because I thought it was this wild animal coming up to bite us, right? Like, but it was probably someone's pet or something, that kind
Oh
of like
God.
it was a ferret. Like, it's a wild animal, but they're not going to come up to you unless they feel safe, or it could be rabid. But it was winter. We were playing hockey out in the pond, but you just, I don't know. It's just a different life. Like, I don't know. I loved it. I wouldn't want to have been brought up any differently. Like, once I hit 16, then you want to get, you're into town, right? You're getting into high school and all this kind of stuff, and girls and everything. So it's a different set of rules then. But as a youngster, motorbikes, like 3-wheel motorbikes, snowmobiles, like that was awesome. So anyway, so I found it hard to believe that Gen Xers were that heavy into the AI. You know what I mean? Like, I can see it using it as a tool, but they're saying they're using it to operate their life. And Carl, I think you just proved that guy right.
Maybe.
Right? Because you use it for a lot, right?
I use it enough. Like, I'll go through little streaks of using it, right? I still use it. Like, if Google Lens fails me, I'll sometimes use it. It'll give me different results. I do it for research. You just have to, like we talked about before, you just have to be really careful with trusting it too much, because, like, at least with ChatGPT, it's extremely confident in its inaccuracy. So,
but you even ask, though, how to negotiate, how to set your booth up, and all these other kind of things, right?
And sometimes it's good. Yeah. You know, it's like what they say: when you're holding a hammer, everything looks like a nail. ChatGPT is a bit like that.
Yeah.
Like, but sometimes you can use it in ways you didn't even think of, and it's like, holy crap! Like, even just my stupid accounting, where I take a picture of my sales book for Sunday, and it puts into an Excel file for me, and it's freaking accurate, and it categorizes everything in like seconds. That's worth the $20 there. You know, like, it saves me money and time, but I still verify it because I don't 100% trust it. But
to use it as a tool is one thing, but to rely on it to get you through life, like, that's a different thing.
It's learning also, you know, where is it best used and where is it avoided. But we've talked about that before, and I want to get back into it. But we'll see what the development is for the next year. Like I said, maybe a year from now will be like, AI, who cares about that? That was just a nothingness. Or maybe it'll be something great or something scary in terms of, like, jobs. But I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. What I want to say with Tina is that she was asking for the bagpipes Smurf, and I had one. And guess what sold this weekend?
Oh,
yeah. I should have told her, and I didn't say anything, so it's gone. I had one, though. I sold Smurfs again. It's always funny. Every time I say I haven't sold any Smurfs, and then all of a sudden, like, I'll sell a bunch of Smurfs that day. Yeah. I should just, like, randomly say things in my booth. It's like touching things for eBay, and all of a sudden it sells, right? Abuse the power. Thank you, Tina. Do you want to do the next one?
Yeah, Adam Wakefield. Good to see Adam here today. I hope you guys have a successful new year and reselling 2026. Well, you as well, Adam, for sure. And all listeners, really. Like, Scott, it's been a few weeks. How did you research? Oh, did I research Big Jim Cullen yet? I did. I did a little bit. Like, you know, I found out that he was Canadian, Nova Scotia. He was a big guy. He moved to Maine. I think he was accused of murder. Like, I don't know what happened. Somebody stole something, or something happened, and he ended up killing someone. And then I think he was hung by the community, and he was the only person hung in that community in history, or the death penalty. I think it was hung. I really think that could be a next book or film project. Take care, guys. It's an interesting thing. It's something that I'm not at that point yet. I'm kind of more into fiction. I'm more into, like, storytelling and stuff. But as I do have one in mind, which would be someone who was actually hung here in Ontario, and there's a backstory to that, and that would fall in line. So if I was to do like a trilogy book, I think I would entertain the Big Jim Cullen guy. It's interesting story for sure, though, Carl. Like, it's interesting to find that we have history of Canadian characters, and how they influenced, like, there it would have been an American state or town, but if you look back history, like, there are some interesting characters. Like, we always think Canadian is boring, but we have some really interesting people, and Big Jim Collins is definitely one of those guys. He almost, I don't know, larger in life character that got caught up in something, and is he more folklore now than actual, what is what we're being told factual, or did he kind of become like that folklore guy?
You got to add a little something to the story every single
Yeah,
time.
like, I'm not saying either way. I think that's something I'd like to dive into and find out, right? But
7 foot, I heard.
Basically, he almost, like, as I was reading it almost is a Paul Bunyan.
Yeah,
he kind of, the description they were given kind of reminded me of that type of character,
Canadian version of him.
Yeah. So, but I did, Adam, I did look into it for sure. And it would totally be an interesting story if I can get, like, enough information that's factual. It would be a research thing. Like, right now, I'm just kind of like learning how to kind of just make up shit and go with a fiction, But I mean, like, dude, that's what ChatGPT and AI's for. It's for all that quick researching. So,
yep.
Instead of going to a library and getting out what a Dewey Decimal System and trying to figure out this.
Wow.
Remember those days, dude? No. Oh my God.
Anyways, I don't want to get sidetracked, but yeah.
I don't do that. What are you talking about?
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about me.
I do that all the time. I'm just kidding. But it's, technology can be good too, don't but anyway.
Thank you, Adam.
Thanks, Adam.
And one last one on YouTube from Randy, Nova Scotia Celt. I agree. Uncertainty is worse than dealing with a less than perfect situation. Yeah, I agree with that. At least if it's like, this is what the status is and it's this way for a year, we can either work with it or not. It's up to us without knowing what it might change after we ship something out.
So I really don't like how things are with the U.S. states.
Yeah, we're talking about the tariffs and everything, right?
Yeah, like, I agree. It is what it is, for sure. Like, I mean, we've said this before on the show. If you're an American reseller, you're happy.
Great. Oh yeah,
right?
Great. Yeah.
So it is what it is. It's kind of sad when you break it down. It's kind of sad that we got to be reliant so heavily on other countries for whatever reason. Like,
it particularly hits us too, right? Like, because we are the people shipping stuff around, right? It really hits us probably one of the most. So
yeah, but why is it 80% of the buyers that are Americans? Oh, because of the population. But there's an argument to be said that per capita they probably have way more resellers than Canada does per capita. Like, why should that make any much of a difference? Right? Like, that there's more competition. You know what I mean?
But they also have a bigger market and they make more per capita, right? So the money is there, the people are there, right?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, how did it get that way? You know what I mean? That's
because it's warm down there.
Anybody? What's that?
Just life. It's warm down there. It's freezing up here. That's it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, how come it's that way? Like, could we be a richer country that spends more? Or, I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm not getting down a rabbit hole of answers. I'm getting a rabbit hole of questions. You can answer it the way you want to see it. But my point is that it's too bad that we have to be so reliant on that, so that if something breaks, we feel that much of a crunch. And
Yep.
I'm not saying I'm not getting into reasons why and stuff. I'm like, it's too bad that we're in that position. Like, you know, it is what it is. But it's if you're down there reselling, you're probably doing very well, right?
If you're
As long as you're
reselling
not selling
used
Funko Pops.
Damn Funko Pops. I just want to sell my Funko Pops.
What were you going to say, Carl?
I'm just saying, like, yeah, no, if you're an eBay seller, especially in the United States, of used goods, it's great.
Yeah.
So I'm going to continue with his comments.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't like how things are between us and the States, but it is what it is.
Yep.
Scott, did you just do the Charlie Brown voice for how women talk? Man, you're in deep doo-doo. Happy New Year.
Listen.
Yes.
Women can take a joke, you know, because you know what? They're going to hammer you just as hard, right? And Tina Mac was the perfect indication of that.
Oh my God.
And I think that's when you can kind of sit back and kind of laugh at yourself or kind of take it as like, that's where people need to be. Like, it's not, I'm not insulting women. I'm kind of making light of the situation, how men and women interact. And comedy has been dealing with that genre since the dawn of time. One of the best comedians I've ever seen was in Vegas, and I don't even know his name, but the whole show was on the difference between men and women, and it was hilarious. And not just for men, like women. Like, I went with a girl I was seeing at the time, and we were like almost in tears. Like, but he said it in such a way, like it was almost emotional. So I don't want to go to, but it was like, you see our differences, and sometimes they cause friction and argument, but when you really see it from the other person's eyes, it's very understandable. So when I say that kind of stuff, I'll say that to Steph all the time, right? But it's all in fun, you know? So I don't expect anyone to get upset with it. And Tina Mac did the same thing, right? Like, she hammered it back, and that was a great. In saying that, that's how Carl hears Scott all the time, right? Like, and it's so true. It's so true. But anyway, yeah, so I'm a deep doo-doo. I know Randy's making light of it too. I'm just saying, I like to play around like that, and it's all for fun. So.
Yes, and thank you everyone for the comments. Thank you for those of you who have actually listened to all our episodes. I feel sorry for you, but thank you at the same time.
And Randy said Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Randy, and Happy New Year, Carl, and Happy New Year to everybody else.
Exactly. And that we can say, because when this comes out, it will actually be a new year. Yeah. Actually, right now it is, depending where you are in the world.
Wow. That's deep, Carl.
Happy New Year. I know, right? Anywho. You know what happened? I broke my box cutter. Big, a little pour one out for my box cutter. It fell apart in my hands the other day. I'm still my first tape gun, but I now have one box cutter down to the graveyard. I have to end it with that.
Well, what could possibly have gone wrong? Like the blade?
Yeah, like all the screws came out and all the springs came out. It went kaput.
Dude, I have the exact same box cutter, blue color and everything.
Yeah, it was a nice cheap. Ooh, Jesus! Don't break things.
I had a red one and a blue one, like a metallic shine to it.
Yeah, I like them because you can find them.
But you can put the blades in it.
Yeah, but there was a spring. I'm looking for it now. It literally like kapooied on me. So
really,
you know what? It was $5. Oh. They're cheap. I remember it being very cheap. So I'm not going to fix it, because if I fix it, it'll fall apart again in 10 minutes. So
I'm trying to think where I got them. I'm almost wondering, when I went to Uline for boxes, that they were like, when you pay for so much, they give you a gift, and that was in there.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it was Home Depot, or maybe Canadian Tire.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, things are happening. So, yeah. Anywho.
All right.
My poor knife. It's okay. I used both halves of it. You know, like you can switch the blade and turn it around.
Yeah.
I already did that. So it lived its life. Thank you, box cutter.
Did you open it up? If you open it up, there should be more blades in the handle.
Not this one. Unless there's like a secret compartment somewhere. No, it's impossible.
No,
no,
it's not. If it's the same one I have, which it looks like it is.
Well, where would they hide it? There's nowhere to hide it.
Anyways. Maybe it is slightly different.
Exciting audio, I'm sure. Here's my box, Scooter.
Oh, is that a knife or is it a? Let me see. Like, where's the blade? You use both sides.
It collapsed. Remember, I said it fell apart.
Yeah.
Here's the blade half, and here's the handle part. They're separate because it fell apart.
Okay.
Damn it.
Damn it.
$5 gone. See, I got little springs and everything. I was like, oh, what the hell? Anyways, I didn't mean that to be a 5-minute conversation, but
dude,
I just wanted to pour one out. 2025 box cutter will be remembered forever.
What do you want? Do you want to limit a subject? Is that going into 2026?
What?
If we talk about a knife, we got 2 minutes, not 5. If, like you said, I didn't mean that to turn into a 5-minute conversation.
Well, that was the extent of my deep. Now it's a 6-minute conversation.
We could go a little longer.
It's okay. I can't look at all.
Buy a blue handled one and not red or black.
Gee, I didn't really think it through. I just went, oh look, it was probably cheap.
Now we're into 7 minutes, Carl.
At least it wasn't a dollar store one. Although dollar store has some really good stuff.
Yeah, 8 minutes. All right, that's it. We're done.
Yeah.
All right, I'm silly. I'm like literally only on 3-4 hours sleep. So.
Yeah, punch drunk.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year, Carl.
Yeah, you too. And to everyone.
See you in 2026.
Bye, everyone.